So yes, so this is last class on LPP. So far we have seen we have started with transportation problem, and then we have seen assignment problem, and then we have seen solving LPP using graphical method, and the last class we have seen simplex method, right? So we have seen two problems on simplex method. Now today what we're going to see is we're going to do one more problem on simplex method, and we're going to do two problems on big M method. So actually big M method is not in the syllabus, but it is asked in previous years, that is in the 2018 question paper, but it is not in the syllabus, right? So even though it is not syllabus, I'm covering just to but because it is very similar to simplex method, so you learn big M method also, right? Yes. So in the previous class we have seen simplex method. So we have seen two problems. The first problem is minimization, minimize minimum. We need to find the minimum value. So the first problem we have seen is maximization, right? Maximization. So we have seen two problems on maximization. The last class we have seen the first problem to be maximize z is equal to 12x1 plus 16x2 subject to these two constraints. 10x1 plus 20x2 is less than or equal to 120. 8x1 plus 8x2 is less than or equal to 80, and x1 x2 are greater than or equal to 0, right? So for maximization we have did two problems. In this video we are going to do one minimum problem using simplex method. So we just recall what we did for maximization. So here we have two constraints, and it should always be less than or equal to. If it is greater than, you just multiply by minus sign so that it will become less than or equal to. So here there are two constraints. So you're going to add two variables, two slack variable, that is s1 plus s2, and you are changing the inequality to equality, equal to 120, equal to 180. Now we need to form initial simplex table, and the tables, the data should be CBI, CJ, basic variables, and you can see there are two basic variables x1, s2, and two slack variable s1, s2, and you need to add 0 s1 plus 0 s2 in the objective function also. So what is the coefficient for x1? So 12, 16, 0, 0 are the coefficients for x1, x2, s1, s2. You just write it here. And how many slack variable you added? We added two slack variable s1 and s2. And what are the coefficient? It is 0 and 0, right? Yes. Now we just fill up the first constraint coefficient. So 10, 20, 1, 0, because there is no s2 here. So 10, 20, 1, 0, and the solution is 120. And here 8, 8, 0, 1, and solution is 80. Now we need to form Zj. So Zj is summation Cbi into Aij. So 0 into 10 plus 0 into 8. So for initial simplex table, our Zj value will always be 0, right? Because we are multiplying 0 into something plus 0 into something. So it will always be 0. And we need to find Cj minus Zj. So Cj is 12. So 12 minus 0 is 12. 16 minus 0 is 16. And 0 minus 0 is 0. 0 minus 0 is 0. Now it is given the question that we need to maximize. So for maximize, we can stop the iteration when all the values for Cj minus Zj is less than or equal to 0, right? If it is for minimum, Cj minus Zj has to be greater than or equal to 0. So here it is asked for maximization. So Cj minus Zj has to be less than or equal to 0. But here you can see all values are not less than or equal to 0. You can see 12 is greater than 0, 16 is greater than 0. So here all the values are greater than or equal to 0, which is not optimal. That means we need to go on to second iteration. So before that, what we need to do is we need to choose the maximum element in Cj minus Zj. So what is maximum element? It is 16. Why we are choosing maximum element here? Because our objective function is maximum, right? Suppose if the objective function is minimum, which you're going to do today, we need to choose the most negative value, right? We need to choose the most negative value if our objective function is minimum, but here it is maximum. Therefore we need to choose the maximum value in Cj minus Zj. So which it turns out to be 16 here, right? So 16 is maximum. So this column is called key column, and if we need to form a ratio, so ratio formula is solution divided by key column value or key row value, right? So 60 by 20, so 120 by 20, 80 by 8, right? You need to divide a solution by that column, key column row value. So 120 by 20, 80 by 8. So here induce the least positive value, right? Least positive value. Remember the word is very important. Least positive value. Suppose if you have minus 1 here, you should not choose minus 1 to be least, because we need to choose least positive value. So therefore you should choose 6 even though you have minus numbers here, right? So among positive you need to choose least, which is 6 here. So this is called key row. So after finding key column and key row, we need to make this element to be 1. So in order to make this element to be 1, we need to divide that entire row by that element, so that it will be 20 by 20 will be 1. So I am going to divide this entire row by 20. So 10 by 20, 20 by 20, 1 by 20, 0 by 20, 120 by 20. So in second iteration, an important thing is, here you can see x2 is entering variable, s1 is leaving variable, right? So whatever here it will leave, and this will enter. So in place of s1 I'm going to write x2, and s2 will remain as it is, and I'm dividing this row by 20. So 10 by 20 is 1 by 2, 20 by 20 is 1, 1 by 20, 0 by 20, 120 by 20 is 6. Now you need to make this element 0 with the help of this element. Very important step. You need to make this element 0, that is this is called key element. You need key element has to be 1, and other element below or above has to be 0. But here you can see there is no above element. The below element is 8. So you need to make 8 0 with the help of this row. So how can you make this row? So that means you need to scalar multiply something here. So I'm going to multiply 8 here, right? I'm going to multiply 8 here, so that 8 minus 8 into this row will be 0, right? So therefore you need to apply for entire operation. So operation I'm doing is s2 minus 8 times x2, right? Because this row is s2 and this row is x2, and we need to make this element 0 with the help of this element. That means I'm going to multiply this entire row by 8, and then I'm going to subtract this row and this row. So if I multiply 8 here, we will have 8 by 2. So 8 by 2 is 4, and if I subtract 8 minus 4, it will be 4, right? So therefore we will have 4 here, and here it will be 8 minus 1 into 8. So 8 minus 8 will be 0, and here we have 0 minus 8 in 0 minus 8 by 20. So it will be minus 4 by 5, sorry, minus 2 by 5, and here it will be 1 minus 8 into 0. It will be 1 again. So 80 minus 8 into 1, right? 80 minus it will be, so s2. So here we have 80, and here we have 6. So you need to multiply this by 8, right? So 80 minus 6 into 8. So it will be 80 minus 48. 80 minus 48 is 32. So we have 32 here, right? So in this way you need to fill up this table, and you need to find again zj and cj minus zj. So how we got this two row? This row is very easy. You just divide that row by 20, and this row is obtained by scalar multiplying. So scalar multiplying a certain number to make this element 0, right? We should always use this row to make 0, right? Yes. Now again you find zj. So what is zj? 16 into 1 by 2 plus 0 into 4. So 16 into 1 by 2 is 8, plus 0 into 4 is 0. So we have 8. 16 into 1 plus 0 into 0, which is 16. 16 into 1 by 20, which will be 4 by 5, plus 0 into minus 2 by 5, we will have 4 by 5. Now you find cj minus czj, and again you can see, again you just subtract 12 minus 4 is 8, 16 minus 16 is 0, 0 minus 4 by 5 is minus 4 by 5, 0 minus 0 is 0. Again this is not optimal. So for minimum, all values for cj minus zj has to be less than or equal to 0. So again you need to choose the maximum element in cj minus zj, which it turns out to be 4 here. So here we will have this row is our key column, and you just form a ratio. So what is ratio? Solution divided by key row value. So 6 divided by 1 by 2, 32 divided by 4. So which is the least here? Least positive value, 8 is least. So this will be my key row, and this is my key element. Now what will be iteration 3? You need to make key element 1. How can you make this element 1? You need to divide this entire row by 4. So 4 by 4, 0 by 4, 2 by 5 divided by 4, 1 by 4, 32 by 4. So it will be our an important thing is, you can see x1 is entering variable and s2 is leaving variable. So this will be x1 x2, and if you divide this entire row by 4, we will have this value, and you need to make this element 0, right? That is, you need to make 1 by 2 be 0 with the help of 1 by 2 to be equal to 0 with the help of 1, right? That means you need to multiply 1 by 2 here, and then we need to subtract, right? So that row minus 1 by 2 into x1. So we will have this value. This is what I explained in the previous video, right? So again you find zj. So zj is 16 into 0 plus 12 into 1, 16 into 1 plus 12 into 0, 16 into 1 by 10 plus 12 into minus 1 by 10. You will have zj, and you find cj minus zj. Now here you can see all values are less than or equal to 0, which is optimal for minimum for maximum, right? For maximum cj minus zj has to be less than or equal to 0. Therefore this is our solution for iteration, and you can see what are the variables that are inside. We have x1 x2 inside, and what is the value for x1? It is 8, and for x2 it is 20. Therefore x1 is 8, x2 is 20, and the maximum of z is 128, right? This is what simplex method. And then we have also solved one more problem using simplex method. The two problem we have solved only for maximization, right? So here you can see maximize z is equal to 5x1 plus 3x2. We have 3 constraints, so I am going to add 3 slack variables. So we have 3 slack variable. Now again do iteration 1, so iteration 2, iteration 1. So just substitute the data here and write all the coefficients value, and you form zj. What is zj? For the first iteration table, initial simplex table, our zj will always be 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, and cj minus zj is 53000, right? And you can see for maximization, all cj minus zj has to be less than or equal to 0, but here you can see all values are greater than or equal to 0. Therefore you need to choose a maximum element in cj minus zj. Why I am choosing maximum element? Because our objective function is maximum. So this is our key column value, and you just form a ratio again, solution divided by key row value. So 2 divided by 1, 10 divided by 5, 12 divided by 3, and what is the least positive value? You can either choose this value or this value. If you choose this value, you need to make this element 1. So that means I need to divide this entire row by 5. But if I choose this value, I don't need to divide this entire row by 1 because it is already 1. So I'm going to choose this as our key row, and we need to make this element 0 with the help of this element, right? So there will be 5 minus 5 into 1, 3 minus 3 into 1. So if you do that iteration, you will have, so you can see old s2 minus 5 times x1. This is what I explained in the previous video, and you can see we have found we have transformed this to be equal to 0, this to be equal to 0, and in that process this turns out to be some other values. Now you find zj 5 into 1 plus 0 into 0 plus 0 into 0, 5 into 1 plus 0 into minus 3 plus 0 into 5, and you find cj minus zj, and you can see all values are less than or equal to 0. That means maximum is attained. And you can see x1 is 2, and there is no x2 x3 inside. You should always take these to be solution, and there is no x2 x3 inside. If there is no x2 x3, you need to take x2 to be equal to 0, x3 to be equal to 0, and maximum of z is 10 is a maximum value for that, right? Yes. So you can see for maximization problem, all cj minus zj has to be greater than or equal to, less than or equal to 0, and you need to choose the maximum value in cj minus zj, right? You need to choose the maximum value in cj minus zj. You can see you need to choose the maximum value in cj minus zj for maximization. Now what you're going to do is we're going to do a minimization problem using simplex method, right? Minimization problem using simplex method. So we will do one minimization problem simplex method, and then we'll move on to big M method, right? Yes. So minimize z is equal to 2x1 minus 3x2 plus 6x3, and we have 3 constraints: 3x1 minus x2 plus 2x3 less than or equal to 7, 2x1 plus 4x2 is greater than or equal to minus 12, minus 4x1 plus 3x2 plus 8x3 is less than or equal to 10. Here you can see there is greater than or equal to symbol, right? So for simplest method, you make sure that the constraints are less than or equal to. So I'm going to divide this entire equation by minus, so that the inequality will be reversed, right? So minus 2x1 minus 4x2 is less than or equal to 12, right? Yes. So here we have three constraints, so I'm going to add three slack variable. So let s1, s2, s3 be three slack variable. Now you just add s1, add s2, add s3, and the objective function we should add 0 s1 plus 0 s2 plus 0 s3. So we will have this, right? So minimization of z is equal to 2x1 minus 3x2 plus 6x3 plus 0 s1 plus 0 s2 plus 0 s3, and we have three constraints, so I'm adding s1, s2, s3. Now we need to form a initial simplex table. So what is initial simplex table? So it is basic variable is s1, s2, s3. These are the select variable we have added, and we have x1, x2, x3, s1, s2, s3 are our variables. And what is the coefficient in objective function? You can see objective function is 2 minus 3, 2 minus 3, 2 minus 3. So it is 6, right? Sorry, it is 6. So 2 minus 3, 6, 0, 0, 0, right? Yes, 6, 6, 6. You just change to 6, so that it will be this is 6, right? Yes. So x1, x2, s3, s1, s2, s3, and what is the first constraint? The first constraint is 3 minus 2, 2, 1. So we will have 3 minus 1, 2, 1, 0, 0, and here minus 2 minus 4. So minus 2 minus 4, there is no x3, and there is no s1 and s3, so we will have 0. These are very easy, right? Yes. Now you need to form zj, and for zj and for initial simplex table it will always be 0. Now you find cj minus zj. So 2 minus 0, minus 3 minus 0, 6 minus 0. Sorry, it is 6. 6, 0, 0, 0. And here you can see our problem is minimization, right? So for minimization you should choose the most negative value, right? Most negative value. What is most negative value? Minus 3 is the most negative value. That means you should choose this as our key column. Suppose if this question is asked for maximization, we will choose 6 to be the key column, but here it is asked for minimization, so you choose the most minimum value. So this is our key column. Now you find ratio solution divided by key column row. So 7 divided by minus 1, 12 divided by minus 4, 10 divided by 3. Now you should choose the least positive value. So here we have minus 7, here we have minus 3, and these are negative. We don't consider this. So you will have only one positive value. You should select the least positive value. So this is the least positive value. This is our key row, right? Now you need to make this element again very easy, right? So again you can see x2 is entering variable and s3 is leaving variable. Now you should make this element to be equal to 1. That means we need to divide this entire row by 3. So this will be minus 4 by 3. This will be 1. This will be 8 by 3, 0 by 3, 0 by 3, 1 by 3, and this will be 10 by 3, right? So again you need to make this element 0, this element 0 with the help of this element. How can you make this element? This is 1, right? This is 1 now. After transforming, this will be 1. So minus 1 plus 1, it is enough to add this row and this row to make this row 0. And here we should multiply 4 here. Then we need to add, because we have minus 4 here. So minus 4 into 4. So this row will be you just need to add, because we have 1 here, right? So if we add this row and this row, we will have 3 plus minus 4 by 3, because we have divided this entire row by 3. So we will have 3 minus 4 by 3. 3 minus 4 by 3 will be 3 minus 4 by 3, 9 minus 4 by 3. So which is 5 by 3, right? Yes. So we have 5 by 3 here. So similarly, what you need to do is you need to fill these two rows, right? Yes. Now after filling this, again you can see the operation I am doing is, so you need to make this row, right? So this is our main element. So we need to form S1, S2. So we have formed S1 is equal to old S1 minus, you just need to add, right? So old S1, what is old S1 plus X2, and for S2 it is old S2 plus 4 times X2. So if you use these two operations, we will have this to be equal to 0, this to be equal to 0, right? Yes. and you just apply the same operation for both row. You will have this element. Now you find Zj. What is Zj? 0 in, so now you need to write x2 here because x2 is entering variable, and what is the coefficient for x2? It is -3. Now what is Zj? 0 into 5 by 3 plus 0 into minus 22 by 3 minus 3 minus 4 by 3 will be plus 12 by 3. So plus 12 by 3 will be 4, right? So we will have 4 here. 0 into 0 plus 0 into 0 plus minus 3 into 1, which is minus 3. 0 into 0, 0 into 32 by 3 minus 3 into 8 by 3. So 3 will get cancelled. So we have minus 8. And you find Zj minus Cj minus Zj. So 2 minus 4 minus 2 minus 3 minus 3. Minus 3 plus 3 will be 0. And again you can see all values are not less than or equal to 0. Less than or greater than. It has to be greater than or equal to because it is minimum, right? So for maximum, all values for Zj minus Cj has to be less than or equal to 0, right? This is what I have explained in the very basic. For maximization, all values for Cj minus Zj has to be less than or equal to 0. And for minimization, Cj minus Zj has to be greater than or equal to 0. But here you can see it is not greater than or equal to 0, right? So you can see this is not greater than or equal to 0. So what is the most negative value? We need to choose the most negative value because our objective function is minimum. So this is our key row. Now you find a ratio, the solution divided by key column row. So 31 by 3 divided by 5 by 3, 76 by 3 divided by minus 22 by 3, 10 by 3 divided by minus 4 by 3. You will have these three values. Now what is the least positive value? These two are negative, so don't consider this. So least positive value is this row. So this is our key element, right? This is our key element. Now you need to make this element 1. How can you make this element 1? We need to divide this entire row by 5 by 3, or we can multiply 3 by 5. If I multiply 3 by 5, this will be 1. So I need to multiply this entire row. An important thing is x1 is entering variable and s1 is leaving variable. So this will be x1 now. So what is the coefficient for x1? So this turns out to be 5 now, the next iteration. And you need to multiply this entire row by 3 by 5 so that it will be 1, 0. So if you multiply this row by 3 by 5, 3 will get cancelled. So we have 14 by 5. And this will be 3 by 5, 0. 1 by 3 into 3 by 5 will be 1 by 5. And 31 by 3 into 3 by 5 will be 5. 3 will get cancelled. So we have 31 by 5. So we will have this row, right? After that we need to make this element 0 with the help of this element. How can I make? We need to multiply this whatever number we are multiplying, we need to multiply here only, right? So I'm going to multiply 22 by 3 and then I'm going to add. So minus 22 by 3 plus 22 by 3, so there will be 0. So 0, here we have 0 and here we have 0. So 0 minus 22 by 3 into 0 is 0 again. And here we have 32 by 3. So we have 32 by 3 and we are multiplying minus 22 by 3, right? Minus or plus. We are multiplying plus 22 by 3 into, and what is this element? This element is 14 by 5, right? Yes. So similar way, you just have to make that operation to find this row. So which turns out to be 1, 0, 14 by 5, 3 by 5. I need to make these two elements 0. So we are multiplying, we are just making some row column operation, that's it. Now you find Zj. So Zj is 2 into, important thing is here x1 is entering, that means you need to write x1 coefficient to be equal to 2. You should not write 0, right? Because our x1 coefficient is 2. And here x2 is already entered in the first iteration and s2 is already there. So what will be my Zj? 2 into 1 plus 0 into 0 minus 3 into 0, which is 2. 2 into 0 plus 0 into 0 plus minus 3 into 1. 2 into 14 by 5 plus 0 into 126 by 5 minus 3 into 32 by 5. So we will have this row. Now you find Cj minus Zj. So which turns out to be all values are greater than or equal to 0. That means optimality is attained, and you can see x1 is inside, x2 is inside, and the value for x1 is 31 by 5 and value for x2 is 58 by 5, and there is no x3 inside. That means our x3 value will be 0, and this is our minimum value. This is our minimum value, and x1 is 31 by 5, x2 is 58 by 5, and x3 is 0, right? So if you substitute these three values, you will get, you can also check your answer. If you substitute if you substitute x1 to be equal to 31 by 5, x1 to be equal to 31 by 5, and x2 to be equal to 58 by 5, and x3 to be equal to 0, you will have the minimum value. So if we simplify this, you will have this value, which is minus 112.5. You can cross check your answer whether your answer is correct or not, right? So whatever value you will get, you have to get in if you substitute x1 x2 in the question, right? So this is simplex method. So more or less both are same. The only thing is, if they asked minimum, you just need to check whether all your Cj minus Zj are greater than or equal to 0, and you need to choose the most negative value in Cj minus Zj. Suppose if it is maximum, you need to choose the maximum value here. If it is minimum, you need to choose the most minimum value. This is the only change in minimum simplex method, right? Yes. Now we'll move on to big M method. So again, very similar to simplex method. Actually, it is not in a syllabus, but the previous year, that is 2018, they have asked this method. So for that, I'm just going through. Now important thing is, in simplex method, what we will do is, we will always transform all the constraints to less than or equal to. Even though it is greater than or equal to, we will multiply minus, so that this will be less than or equal to. But in big M method, you should not do like that, right? In simplex method, we will always have the constraint to be less than or equal to. Even though it is greater than or equal to, we can transform to less than or equal to by multiplying minus or plus. But in big M method, you should not do like that, right? In big M method, you should not do like that. Now if you have less than or equal to, you need to add. So it's very important. If you have, you don't worry about the question now. So if you have less than or equal to, add slack variable, which is similar to simplex method. But if you have greater than or equal to, in simplex method, what we will do is, we will multiply by minus, and then we will change this to less than or equal to. But in big M method, you should not do like that. What we need to do is, we need to subtract a surplus variable, and we need to add artificial variable. That is, in order to change greater than or equal to equal to, you need to subtract one surplus variable, and we need to add one artificial variable. It's very important step, right? And if we have equal to symbol in constant, if you have equal to symbol, add only artificial variable. So this is 1, this is 2, and the 3 is, if we have only equal to symbol in constraint, add only artificial variable, right? You don't need to add surplus variable, right? Suppose if a constraint is less than or equal to, so just add artificial variable and put equal to something, right? For example, if it is equal to 70, so you just add plus s1 equal to 70. Suppose if it is greater than or equal to 70, you need to subtract one slack variable, and you need to add one artificial variable, and then you can put equal to 70. Suppose your constraint is equal to 70, you need to add one slack variable alone. You should not take this equation as it is. You should add one artificial variable, right? Yes. So now we will do one minimization problem and maximization problem in big M method, very similar to simplex method, right? Yes. Now if you understand the first step, then both are similar, right? Yes. So you can see the first problem is, minimize z is equal to 7x1 plus 15x2 plus 20x3, and we have two constraints, 2x1 plus 4x2 plus 6x3 greater than or equal to 24, greater than or equal to 30. So we have greater than or equal to, that means we need to subtract a surplus variable, and then we need to add one artificial variable. So I'm going to subtract one I'm going to subtract one artificial variable, and I'm going to add one artificial variable. So for artificial variable, we need to add the maximum value, right? That is, we need to add m times a1, and m is the maximum value for m. And here also we need to subtract one slack variable. Sorry, 0 is not 0. It is here minus s2 plus m times a2. You can change inequality to equality, right? Yes. So what I'm doing is, I'm just subtracting one slack variable and adding one variable to change greater than or equal to, and again I'm subtracting one slack variable and adding one artificial variable to change equal to. And here important thing is, here you can write 0s1 to 0s2, but here we need to write m a1 plus m times a2, right? M a1, should not write m here. So you just see this. So here you have two constraints. Here we have two constraints. So don't do this. Actually, don't worry about this. Actually, we have two constraints now, right? So for two constraints, what we need to do is we need to add one slack variable, and then we need to subtract one slack variable, and we need to add one artificial variable to change this greater than or equal to equal to. And similarly, I am subtracting one slack variable and adding one artificial variable to make this to be equal to 30. And important thing is, in simplest method we will write 0s1 plus 0s2, and you should not write 0a1 0a2. We should write minus m times a1 minus m times a2, where m is the plus m times a1 plus m times a2. If I have minimum, right, if it is minimum, you should write plus m times a1 plus m times a2, where m is the maximum value, right? M is the maximum value, right? So very, very important. If I have minimum problem, you should write plus m a1 plus m a2. Suppose if our problem is maximum, we should write minus m a1 minus m a2. But since it is minimum, we should write plus m a1 plus m a2. Very, very easy, right? So these two are very easy. We are subtracting one slack variable and adding one artificial variable. Both are greater than or equal to. And here in the objective function, we need to add 0s1 plus 0s2. But here for minimum, we should add ma1 plus ma2. And for maximum, we should subtract minus ma1 minus ma2. And all values are greater than or equal to 0. Right, now we can go through whatever we did in simplex method. So what are the variables we have? x1, x2, x3, s1, s2, a1, a2. So we have extra two variables now in the objective function. So we'll write that here. So x1, x2, x3, s1, s2, a1, a2. And what are the coefficients? So in maximization of z, the coefficients are so 7, 15, 20, 0, 0, and the coefficient for a1 is m, and the coefficient for a2 is m again. And here, very important thing, if the problem is minimum problem, you should write only artificial variable. Suppose if it is maximization problem, you should write slack variable as well as artificial variable. In simplest method, what we will do is, we will write only slack variable here. But in bigger method, if our problem is if a problem is minimization, it is enough to write only artificial variable, right? Suppose if our problem is maximization, we need to write surplus variable as well as artificial variable, right? Since our problem is a minimization problem, so it is enough to write only two artificial variable a1, a2. And what are the coefficients? The coefficient for a1 is m and coefficient for a2 is m, and you just fill up these two lines, right? These are very easy. So 2, 4, 6, minus 1, 0, 1, 0. 2, 4, 6, minus 1, 0, 1, 0. So 3, 9, 6, there is no s1. So 0, minus 1, 0, 1. Because there is no a1. So for a2 it will be 1. Our solution is 24, 30. Right? Yes. Now you need to form zj. And important thing is, in the simplex method, for initial table you should always have zj to be equal to 0. But here since we have quotient to be equal to m, here we will always have the value in terms of m. So it will be 2m plus 3m, 2m plus 3m is 5m, 4m plus 9m is 13m, 6m plus 6m is 12m, m into minus 1 plus 0, so it will be minus m. Now you need to form cj minus zj. So what is cj minus zj? 7 minus 5m, 15 minus 13m, 20 minus 12m, 0 minus of minus m will be plus m, 0 minus of minus m will be plus m minus m is 0, m minus m is 0. Now what is our objective function? It is minimum. So for minimum, we need to choose the most negative value. So what is the most negative value here? This is the most negative value. Right? You just see the coefficients for m. It is minus 5, minus 13, minus 12. Right? So most negative value is minus 13. So actually these are one single element, right? It is 15 minus 3m. Since I don't have space, I have written 15 minus 13m. So 15 minus 13m. You should write that these are single element, right? So this is the most negative value. So this is our key column. After finding key column, we need to find the ratio. What is ratio? Solution divided by key row value. 24 divided by 4, 30 divided by 9. So what is the least positive value? This is the least positive value. So here you should always have least positive value. if the problem is minimal problem, you need to choose the most negative value. If the problem is maximization problem, you need to choose the maximum value here. Now what is the least value? This is the least value, so this is our key element. Now we can see x2 is entering variable and a2 is leaving variable. So in place of a2 we will have x2, and what is the question for x2? It is 15, and a2 is leaving, right? That means we can omit this a2, right? We can put dash dash, right? And we need to make this element 1. That means we need to divide this entire row by 9. So we have 3 by 9, 9 by 9, 6 by 9, 0, minus 1 by 9, 0, 1 by 9, 30 by 9. So we will have this is the new row, and we need to make this element 0 with the help of this element. What is this element? This element is 1. After dividing by 9, this element is 1. That means we need to multiply this row by 4, and then we need to subtract. So 4 minus 4 times x2, right? Because x2 is our new variable. So if we do this, we will have, if we do that operation, so 4 minus, that row, old a2 minus 4 times x2 will give this row. And again you find zj. So what is zj? M into 2 by 3m, 2m by 3 plus 15 into 1 by 3. So 3 1s are, 3 5s are. So we will have 2m by 3 plus 5. M into 0 plus 15 into 1, so which is 15 again. So this is 10m by 3 plus 3 1s are, 3 5s are, so 5 2s are 10, so we have 10m by 3 plus 10, m into minus 1, so it will have minus m here. Now again you find cj minus zj, and you can see and for when we can stop, since our problem is minimum problem, our all cj minus zj has to be greater than or equal to 0. Now what is the most negative value? This is the most negative value, right? This is the most negative value. So this is our key column, and find the ratio 632 by 3 divided by 10 by 3. So we will have 3 will get cancelled, so 32 by 10 will be 16 by 5, and this will be 10, and you can just put minus some no entry here because a2 is left, so you can put a2 here. It's a very important step. This is also a very important step, and you can see a2 is leaving variable, so in place of a2 you can just write 2, you can just omit these rows, right? Yes. Now again you can see after that we need to make this element to be equal to 1. That means we need to and you can see x3 is entering variable and a1 is leaving variable. And very important key in bigger method is your artificial variable will always be leaves in the final iteration. Now you can see in the first step the first artificial variable leaves, and for second iteration you can see a1 leaves and x3 enters. So you need to divide this entire row by 10 by 3, or you just multiply by 3 by 10. So this element will be 1, and this element, if you multiply this by 3 by 10, 3 will get cancelled, so we have 2 by 10. So 2 by 10 is 1 by 5. So we will have this row. You will have this row 1 by 5 0, and just substitute all the variables here. And you need to make this element 0. How can you make this element 0? You just need to do an operation. So we will have this, right? Now you can see a1 is also left, so we can write a1 a2 dash 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 dash. Now what is zj? 20 into 1 by 5 plus 15 into 1 by 5, 20 into 0 plus 15 into 1, 20 into 1 plus 15 into 0. And what is cj minus zj? And you can see there is no m here because our a1 a2 are already left. If we have a1 a2 here, then only we will have 1 m, because the coefficients for a1 a2 are m. But here, since we don't have a1 and a2, here we don't have m values from now on. And find cj minus zj, and you can see all values are greater than or equal to 0. That means maximum, our minimum is attained. So what is the value for x3? It is 16 by 5. And what is the value for x2? It is 6 by 5, and there is no x3 inside. That means x3 is equal to there is no x1 inside, so x1 will be 0, and the minimum value is 82, right? So that's it. So you can see all cj minus zj are greater than or equal to 0. These are the values, and you can check that in the question. If you substitute 6 by 5 16 by 5, if you substitute in the question 6 by 5 16 by 5, you just find minimum value. You can verify whether you have got this answer or not, right? Your answer has to be equal to 82, right? After substituting objective function, you should have 82 here, right? Yes. So that's it. So for minimization problem, you should choose the most negative value in cj minus zj. And the important thing is two important things for bigger method. If the problem is minimization problem, you need to add ma1 ma2. If it is maximization problem, you need to add minus ma1 minus ma2. This is the first difference between minimum and maximum. And if it is minimum, it is enough to write only artificial variable in Cj, right? But if it is maximum, you should write artificial variable as well as surplus variable. So now we'll do one problem on maximization problem, so that we will wind off the video. Right, so maximization problem. So maximize z is equal to x1. Again, it is big M method, right? So maximize z is equal to x1 minus x2 plus 3x is 3x3, right? Is 3x3. Subject to, we have three constraints, so I am going to add three slack variable s1, s2, s3, and here you can see it is less than or equal to. That means it is enough to add only one slack variable, which is s1, and here you can see it is equal to. If it is equal to, we don't need to add slack variable, but we should add an artificial variable, as I said earlier, right? And here you can see it is greater than or equal to. That means we need to subtract one slack variable, and then we need to add one artificial variable. So we have minus s2 plus a2. Suppose if it is simplest method, what we will do is we will simply write this to be minus x2 minus x3 is less than or equal to minus 10. But we should not do like here, right? So if it is greater than or equal to, we should subtract a slack variable, and then need to add artificial variable. And if it is equal to, if it is less than or equal to, we will always follow whatever method we follow for simplest, we can always do here. Plus s1 is equal to 20. But if it is greater than or equal to, we should subtract one slack variable. And now since it is maximization problem, you should also add surplus variable. So I am going to add s1, a1, s1, a1 and a2, right? s1, a1 and a2. s1, a1 minus s2 plus a2. Yes. Now again, you just all write the coefficients. So 1 1 1 1 0 1 0 0, and for here it is 1 1, and there is no x, there is no x2, so you just fill up this, and you can see this is very similar, right? So find zj minus cj, so it will be minus m minus 1, and you can see all the steps are very same. What is the most negative value? And one important thing is, for either it is maximum minimum, you should always choose most negative value, right? So in bigger method, even it is maximum, even it is minimum, you should always choose the most negative value. So which is this? So this is the key column, and you find ratio, and here you can see solution is 20 divided by 0. That is, you can put dash here because it is undefined, right? And 5 divided by 1, 10 divided by 1. So this is our key column, key row. So 1 is our key element. Already it is 1, so we don't need to do any operations here. And here it is already 0, so we don't need to do any operation. We can simply write that, and we need to make this element 0. That means I am going to subtract these two rows. So subtract these two rows, we have iteration 2. And important thing is what is entering, what is leaving. And you can see x3 is entering and a1 is leaving, right? And I think you don't need to add s1 also here also, right? If you put a1 a2 itself, it is enough, right? So you just try putting a1 a2 alone, you don't need to write s1, I think. Okay, now you just find first iteration, and for first iteration you can see x2 is entering variable, a1 is leaving variable, and again you find zj minus cj, and most negative value is this. So this is our key column, and this is our key row, and this is already 1, and this is already 0, so we need to make this element 0. So that means x2 is entering, a2 is leaving variable. So x2 is entering, a2 is leaving variable. And after that you can see in this stage all our zj minus cj are greater than or equal to 0, right? I haven't write that step. So cj minus zj all values are greater than or equal to 0. So solution is x3 is 5, x2 is 5, and x1 is 0, right? x1 is 0. So this is our solution. So x2 is 5, x2 is both x2 and x3 are 5, and x1 is 0, right? So that's it. This is big M method. So the important thing that I haven't mentioned is here you should add minus ma1 minus ma2 because it is maximization problem, right? So minus ma1 minus ma2. Here we have minus m, and here also we will have minus m instead of plus m, right? And both all are similar, The only thing is you should have minus m minus m minus m minus m in minimum in maximization problem, right? So that's it. Actually this is not in our syllabus, but you just go through it, right? So you just practice all simplex method problem. And the important thing is, suppose in simplex method what we are doing is we are finding the least positive value in the ratio, right? We are finding the least positive value in the ratio. Suppose you can see here these two are negative value and this is the least positive value. Suppose if we have all are negative, that means there is no least positive value. That means we cannot able to find key row, right? In that stage you can stop the problem and you can say the problem is unbounded, right? It's a very important step that I that I should have said in the earlier. But suppose here in order to find least positive value, suppose if you can't get least positive value, when you will not get the least positive value if all are negative. If all are negative, then you can simply stop the iteration and you can simply say the problem is unbounded. There is no maximization or minimization problem that we can attain, right? So that's it. So you just practice more problems on simplex method, right? The only thing is we need to add slack variable, and then we need to find, and then we need to check whether Cj minus Zj is less than or equal to 0 or greater than or equal to 0, and you can stop all values are less than or greater than depending upon maximum or minimum. And then in the last iteration table you will get the value for x1, x2, x3, and if you can't get values you can take the value to be equal to 0, and here you will have maximization or minimization value, right? So that's it. If you have any doubt you can ask. So just practice all problems on assignment, transportation, practice all problems on assignment, transportation, LPP using graphical method, LPP using a simplex method, LPP using big M method. The only thing is you need practice, right? If you don't practice lots of problem, it will take so much of time, right? Yes.